Welcome to Dragon Ball Speak, a show where we summarize and review every episode of Dragon Ball Z, 3 episodes at a time, and we rate them each on a scale of 1 to 7 stars. We're available on Spotify, YouTube, and iTunes. We upload every Monday. If you like this episode, then go ahead and check out the rest of our stuff, starting with episode 1. This is episode 8. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon.
And I'm Wesley.
And this is Dragon Ball Speak. So,
Episode 22.
Right. So,
The Darkest Day.
what are your initial thoughts of this episode?
This episode specifically?
Yeah.
Underwhelming.
Okay. Yeah.
That's like my one-word description. I was,
Okay.
even from the start, like Darkest Day, knowing what we were about to get into, I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
Mhm.
And then it was like, nah.
Yeah, it starts off a little slow there. So the Saiyans, Vegeta, and Nappa, they announced their arrival on Earth with the complete destruction of East City.
Which I was like, here we go.
Yeah.
Like, it's happening. Like,
Cool scene. Nappa fingers that city out of existence, which I love that move. They just barely any effort at all. The Nappa voice actor felt a little bit better at this point, but then
he's still
ended
just
up
creepy, though.
It's
Like,
awful.
he's just
he
a
just sounds
weirdo.
like a moron.
Yeah, he's just a strange dude.
It's really weird.
Mad thick, though.
But dude, extra. So Vegeta scolds him, saying that he could have destroyed one of the Dragon Balls that they were after. Obviously, they have no regard for life or anything like that. They don't care about the fact that they just killed like potentially millions of people.
Mm-hmm.
They used their scouters to look for the warrior with the highest power level and the one who killed Raditz. And they sensed 2 power levels, which I immediately assumed would be Piccolo and Gohan. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out to be them. He starts flying in their direction. Unfortunately, after Vegeta and Nappa fly away, we cut to Yajirobe, who learned of the Saiyans' arrival, and he headed to East City. And we get this whole weird scene where, like, it's Yajirobe, who is already completely unlikable,
Yep.
talking to the cops about, like, the fact that aliens landed, and it lasts way too long.
Yep.
And it is
The journalists
so,
are there, and they're
yeah,
like,
there's journalists
laughing at them. They say the word "scoop" a lot.
Yeah, what's the scoop? I can't use the scoop.
Yeah.
Which, as a journalist, how do you
is
feel about that?
Very stupid. What's the scoop?
Yeah, and he uses it for profit. He saying that they're like his men. He has a team, a task force. They're gonna take care of the Saiyans,
Mhm.
but they can't use his story unless they pay him with food. Essentially,
Yeah.
God, it's just like
I always got to be with like Yajirobe and food. It's like such a played out.
I know it's like yeah,
joke
he's
already.
the fat one.
Like he likes to eat. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I very much feel for him. I'm the same way, but
Oh, trust me, dude.
it's
Me
like,
too.
it's like we're good.
Yeah. Combine. Oh yeah. Along with that, that's a whole filler sequence. Like I
Yeah.
don't even know why it's in this episode, other than
What did I put? This Yajirobe stuff is in the way of what I wanted to see.
it's exactly right.
It's like
We're finally there.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
give it to me.
they cut away and they're like, let's do this instead. And
They,
it's like,
they may not be doing like a ton of filler, but they must have still been like, okay, we need to get to this point, but it needs to take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So just throw something in there, like, because at this point, I'm not sure they were taking their audience completely seriously.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, just that one filler sequence like really irked me. They sense Piccolo and Gohan sense a power close by, which they thought was a third Saiyan, ended up being
Yeah.
Krillin.
Yeah, so they said there is more than half a dozen on Earth have power levels over 1,000.
Right.
which
So
I
if
thought
we
was
just had to list them
interesting.
out, it was probably the 6 that we see end up teaming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And then I think the 2, because they say like 2 are coming this way, the 2 highest power levels are coming this way right now. I think it's Gohan and Piccolo based on the sequence of animation, but
Yeah,
it's a
because they
little-
went to the 2
Yeah.
highest or whatever. Yeah, I
So
think
it's
it's
interesting. I mean, you kind of know that already, but at least with Piccolo, I wouldn't have assumed.
No,
Gohan's
that's interesting
stronger
with-
than
Right. It's definitely interesting because usually his what we've seen so far is that he's strongest whenever he's like emotional about
Yeah.
something. Vegeta and Nappa arrive, and they recognize Piccolo's voice, and they figure out that he's the one who killed Raditz.
Mhm.
And then somehow, for the third or fourth time, they have to explain that the scouter is a transmitter.
Yep. Just in case you didn't know.
Right. And then a big bomb drop.
Okay, I wrote it down, but in my head I was like, is this another truffle situation?
No, we
Or
don't
is
have
this
any
a
more of
legit-
those situations.
Okay.
This is legit.
Cool. So I'm glad I took notes.
Huge bomb drop. No, yeah, don't worry about it. The only filler I think we have to speak of is the Yajirobe stuff
Cool.
for a long time. And even that was just that one sequence.
Truffy and stuff, not truffle.
Truffle. No, they were
Oh,
truffles.
is it truffle?
Yeah. Anyway, so we get a bomb drop. Piccolo is from the planet Namek. And somehow he knows that they're right, even though he's never known of his heritage. I mean, he can feel it. He knows he's
Yeah.
not from that planet.
This part was funny to me. I know it's like a bomb drop, but he's like, I always knew I wasn't from Earth or something. And it's like, and they're all like, you're not from Earth, and it's like, I don't know, maybe not. The big giant green guy with weird.
Someone said something like that,
Yeah.
like your ears are pointy and you're green. So
Yeah, it's funny that it's just they're like, oh my god.
yeah, I know.
But it's still, I don't know what Namek is, but it sounds.
Well, we
pretty
know
cool.
he's from that planet. He's from planet Namek. Kami reflects on that information.
Yeah.
He's like, basically, he says that he knew also that he wasn't necessarily from the planet, and that somehow in his head, the recipe or the blueprints for making the Dragon Balls was in his head, and that making them made him feel closer to home. Which is, of course, total bomb drop. They're they're aliens. I mean, so Piccolo tells them to leave. He gets ready to fight. Nappa measures them, but then Vegeta's like,
Don't
this is
bother.
exactly how Raditz got fooled. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's clearly smarter than Nappa
Mm-hmm.
about that kind of thing. And so they just throw the scouters on the ground. And we get a lot of, like, I go back and forth between these, it's like a lot of these shots being tension builders, which some of them are, and then some of it is just padding out time.
Yeah.
So I think they're a little bit egregious with it with this episode.
Mm-hmm. Especially because it's like, get to the, like, we're here. This is what we've been building towards this entire season. Like, get to it. And it's so every little shot that doesn't move forward, like, it feels like it's in the way.
Right. It makes you feel even more anxious, which could be
Yeah.
good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
We do see Vegeta suggest that Nappa brings out the Saibamen.
Yeah.
What, you don't like these?
I don't like the side.
Really?
No.
What about them?
My problem is more, well, we'll get into it more in episode 2.
Okay.
Of like what my main
Episode
problem
23.
with them is. But seeing them, all I can see is like ball sack heads.
Ball sack.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did.
really?
Bro, I'm gonna get a little rated R for a second, but I didn't realize that I thought they looked like ball sacks until they had this move, which happens in the next episode, where they split open their head and like they just,
Squirt?
white squirt comes out, and then I was like, those dudes look like ball sacks, and then their heads were like, it just looks like ball sacks. All right, back to family.
No,
rated.
it totally makes sense, dude. Yeah, no, that was my first thought too.
And I was just like, these are not intimidating at all. These are like ball sacks.
Right. Great. I do like how Gohan's wearing Piccolo's clothes here. You see that? You notice that? He's wearing the same
I
outfit
didn't
as
notice that.
Piccolo,
That is
so he's
cool,
like
though.
the student of Piccolo, right?
He looks badass. I love his little
Oh,
outfit.
dude, I
It's
love
so
his.
sick.
He's just a little badass in general. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, he's struggling because he's so young, but man, he looks really cool. I like his design here. Nappa is still just so stupid.
Yeah.
Because, God, whenever Vegeta said they might have destroyed the Dragon Balls, and he was like, "What was our wish again?" Oh yeah, immortality. It's just, he's awful.
I mean, he's like the dumb henchman to Vegeta, but
Right.
it's so. He doesn't even do that good because he's annoying.
Which
He's
is
just-
one of those subverted expectations type things that I agree,
Yeah,
or that I kind of talked about. The fact that Vegeta, like, several times is shown so much smaller than him, but for some reason Nappa's answering to him.
Yeah.
And he's clearly like a henchman type.
Mm-hmm.
Really interesting because obviously you would expect the bigger one to be stronger.
For sure.
So yeah, Nappa plants the Saibamen.
Very strange sequence. I never would have guessed.
That's straight from the manga, dude.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why they're plants, but
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I actually think their design's cool. I think they look like little evil plants.
They're like little evil henchmen for sure, but like all I can see is just like ball sack heads.
Right. Yeah, so the major differences from the manga here is that Yajirobe's East City stuff is exclusive to the anime, and then we keep getting that
That's
news.
a nice way of saying
Yeah,
they're
ass.
exclusive to the anime.
And we keep getting this journalism bullcrap
Yeah.
of the helicopters are flying in, and then Nappa destroys them, and they're like, "Whoa!" and he fingers the shit out of these reporters.
It's the it's just I don't know. I mean, in a way, it's like kind of true to what TV news would be doing. Is like
Oh, for sure.
definitely flying their little helicopters too close to the sun, and then
Yeah, exactly.
they get
And the worst
murked.
part is with this BS Yajirobe subplot, he's the one that's getting them over there and getting them
Yeah,
killed. He
for
pointed
sure.
them that way.
It's
And-
also like he's kind of being a coward, and it pisses
he's
me off.
he's always been a
Yeah,
coward.
all his friends are out there fighting, basically, like literally putting their lives on the line, and then he's just like eating on a weird looking turkey leg.
And don't forget, at one point, Yajirobe beat I think he practically beat Goku in like a
Yeah.
hand-to-hand when Goku stole his fish. But Yajirobe was the same level of reluctance whenever he was fighting like King Piccolo's
Yeah.
children,
Mhm.
and he ate one of them. But
Of course.
yeah, that's his like you said, that's his whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on to Saibamen Attack. After that, kind of disappointing, slow start. I do think with these 3 episodes, like it starts rolling. Like
Mhm.
it does start with a crappy episode 22 being Darkest Day. Saibamen Attack. Let me pull up the page. 1 sec. You might have to cut this
No, you're fine.
because it's always hard to find
From the, I'll just talk about like my top level view of this episode.
it. Yeah, go.
If I watched it standalone, I would like it a lot more. But in the context of what we've been building towards and how badly I want to see Vegeta and Nappa fight, I really don't like the Saibamen. And they also do look like ball sacks.
I don't. Okay.
But no, I don't like the Saibamen, and we'll get into it as he goes through the plot. But I just feel like they're just another block in the way of like what I really want to see.
So we get to episode 23, Saibamen Attack. Credit where credit's due to the translators, because the literal name of this episode is Yamcha Dies, the Terror of the Saibamen, which is way
Very
worse
spoiler.
than Saibamen Attack.
Yeah.
So thank God for that, because
That's actually props to you for not spoiling that.
yeah, honestly,
That's awesome.
thanks Funimation.
Yamcha dies.
Right? Like apparently, like they care less about spoilers, I think, than we do, or something.
It's interesting.
That's
yeah.
or maybe it's just a way to get kids hooked.
Yeah. Back then it was harder to find spoilers anyway.
True. So the Saibamen face off with Krillin, Piccolo, Gohan. Gohan's super intimidated, and and Piccolo keeps on kind of trying to psych him up.
Yeah.
Their encouragement works. Gohan kind of returns his focus. And yeah, Krillin and Piccolo are defensive, but Gohan's still paralyzed as they battle around him with lightning speed.
Yeah. And I mean in the context or standalone, I would have been enjoying this, but I wrote in context like finally the fight I was waiting for, Gohan versus the Saibamen.
Yeah, exactly. And it's frustrating because I know he's still young, but at this point he has been training with Piccolo for so long that it's like you would think that he's a little bit mentally more prepared for this.
I kind of understand though, only because like it's one thing to train with someone you know and maybe fight a dinosaur or two and a robot, but it's like now the threat's here, so I can understand like the stage fright a bit. But it is like, come on, man, this is what you've been training for. Like, get out there, do it.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, and it is scary. I don't know if they said this or not, but since the Saibamen are all dead in the next episode, spoilers, each Saibaman is as strong as Raditz was when he
Yeah,
arrived
they
on Earth.
mentioned that.
Did they say that?
Yeah, they say they're like he's 1200, and then or the Cybermen are 1200. And
Oh,
it's
right,
the same
exactly.
As Raditz, and
Same as Raditz.
that's the problem.
Which means that Krillin would have been able to kill Raditz. Yamcha, nope.
No,
But TM would have been able to kill Raditz because he
Yeah.
killed one of the Saibamen practically. Yeah, Tien and Chaozu appear to join the fight. Yamcha ends up arriving
I
as
really,
well.
we might disagree here, but I did not like the way that they just kept like popping up. It's like a really lame Avengers assemble, like because you got like Piccolo and Gohan being there alone. Like I'm like, okay, let's go, let's do this. That's Captain
two
America
of my favorite
and Iron Man.
characters. Yeah, totally.
And then like slowly these other dudes appear, and it was just like in the way they did Yamcha, they did him dirty.
He's like, "Hey, what's up,
he
bro?"
lands and he's got his long hair, and he goes, and he's like, "What's up?"
God,
And
I
it
know
was
they
like-
make him sound like such a lame like surfer
Yeah.
dude or
I
something.
was like, "Dang it, dude, doing my boy dirty."
of
like
course,
that.
he's about to get freaking murdered.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah. No, I know, and in the manga, they're all just there, so it's it's a matter of interpretation.
They were trying to make it like be hype, but
Exactly. So now it is 6 Z fighters versus 6 Saibamen. So now they're actually going to fight, and Vegeta says for whatever reason, I guess he just wants a show. He wants to see them fight 1-on-1.
which also to me is like, it's strange. Like, why is this a fight club now? Like, again, like
they
I just
love
want to
watching this stuff.
I know, but
mean,
it's
they're
like,
battle hungry.
if I was Gohan and all them, I'd just be going straight for the kill, or even Vegeta and Nappa. Like, I just want to go straight for the kill. Like, forget these Saibamen. Like, do it. Like, fight them, because that's what I want to see.
So for Vegeta and Nappa, they're toying with their prey.
I get it from their perspective.
From the Z Fighters' perspective, these guys are basically inconceivably strong. So it's like,
that's fair.
what are they supposed to even...
On the meta, though, I'm like, okay, I just want to, like, I'm ready for the fight. Like, stop. I don't want this tease anymore.
But the journey here will make the payoff that much greater.
I hope so.
I know sometimes it's not well done, and sometimes it is. And I think that once we get into episode 23, 24, it starts to be a little bit more well done. Kind of starting with Yamcha's, Tien's fight and Yamcha's death. First off, Tien is so cool. I love him, dude. Mm-hmm. Tien volunteers to fight first. He quickly dominated the Saibaman, and he stands back up. And one of a really cool moment I thought was the Saibaman was still alive, but Vegeta freaking destroyed him.
Yeah.
Like, guts out.
Yeah, you see, like,
dead.
the eyeball pop out. It looks like Glenn from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it does. So really, really cool moment there. You see that Vegeta, they say basically he's ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
And then Krillin wants to go next, but well, they're all shocked by that first off, because why bother? Even Nappa was surprised. Krillin wants to go next, but Yamcha insists.
That he fights all the remaining 4.
Yeah, he says he could. He he thought he could beat all 4 of them.
Yeah.
He hit the one with the Kamehameha, and we thought that he won. And Bulma, Roshi, and Oolong are all watching this on the TV because these dumbass reporters. Yeah. I guess they just wanted a way for those 3 or 4 to be able to watch the fight.
I think that's exactly what it is.
Which is where the reporters...
Because who are they broadcasting to? I bet they're all from East City, which is, like, gone.
Yeah, exactly.
So...
Yeah, and we see the Saibaman wakes up behind him, latches onto him, and self-destructs, killing them both instantly.
But not before we watch him tighten for, like, 30 seconds.
Yeah. He
like,
squeezes real tight,
and then just straight up blows up. And
see, I don't mind those moments though. Like sometimes they go on a little
squeezing,
long, but you don't know what's gonna happen.
It was just a little long. It was
a little.
I don't mind the squeezing, but
no, I agree.
It was a lot.
No,
I thought they were gonna break his back, but then I was like, come on, Yamcha, you wouldn't die that easy. Well, and then turns out he gets exploded.
I'm gonna be honest. Throughout Dragon Ball and and like up to this point, where we see him die, I don't know that he's won a single fight outright. Yamcha is
got a lot of heart.
In all of Dragon Ball, he is rough.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have a lot of heart. I don't.
Well, I just mean like he's for the fight, like
But
even then, he's doing it stupid, challenging all of them like that, and then
he got cocky, and I know he trained, and but if you're not winning any of the fights throughout the original series, maybe watch at first.
Yeah.
So he's dead. One of the most iconic period Dragon Ball scenes is Yamcha's death. Because it just became a huge meme.
Yeah.
The picture of him in the crater, it's like a huge meme.
I've never seen it, so I'm happy. You wouldn't be able to tell it's Yamcha unless you knew anyway.
You wouldn't be able to tell it's Yamcha. You wouldn't know that he's dead. But no, it's just because it's so funny, like how abrupt like that death is and how easily he dies. And then Krillin, actually, I like this. He's really grief-stricken after Yamcha dies.
There's like a super cool shot, like a well-animated, like the drawing is really awesome of like him after he's like, I'm going to get vengeance for you or whatever, and he's like, just sitting there with all his muscles bulking out. Yeah. It was like a really cool shot.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And Krillin is one of my favorite characters a lot of times. So
yeah, he's awesome.
I like seeing him shine at all. So what do you think about this episode compared to the last? Do you at least think it's like a little better? It's like starting to get there?
I think it's better.
I think it's better too. I still think they're super egregious with the tension building shots. Yeah. Like you're clearly trying to pad it out a bit much. And then this reporter BS and Yajirobe, he's eating on camera and he's like, oh, I'm not going to get there till round 2.
And there's food all over the dude's glasses.
It just doesn't amuse me, It's just annoying. And I don't like Yajirobe in the manga. I don't like Yajirobe in the show, Dragon Ball. Yeah. At this point, obviously, he's just obnoxious.
Then we get to the power of Nappa.
Yeah, so 24th is the power of Nappa. So this episode starts. Bulma and Roshi and them are all really sad about Yamcha's death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually pretty sad.
Yeah, really sad.
Bulma's crying and she cries on Roshi's like shoulder, and he isn't a creep for a little bit.
He isn't a creep for once.
Like, look at my boy, he's doing the right thing. Like
he ends up, of course.
Yeah, then of course later
grabbing some cheeks. He ends up feeling the cake,
rubs the booty.
Yeah. But Bulma for some reason forgot, I guess, that Yamcha would be able to come back with the Dragon Balls in her grief.
Well, I mean, it's still sad to see someone you love die like that.
Yeah,
But she was like, I mean, yeah, she's like, I was gonna marry him and stuff, and it's like, all right, girl, come on,
right.
you know how this goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Even seeing after the kamikaze, the Saibamen blows up and Yamcha's body's like still intact. I was like, okay, he's coming back.
Right.
'Cause I feel like, well, you could probably come back even if your body gets exploded, but
Well,
it's a little less obvious.
In the OG series, at the very least, yeah, they end up like coming out of their graves and stuff when they're revived.
Yeah.
So their bodies do come back like as is.
Mm-hmm. So
When it comes to whenever Krillin, Roshi,
the
Upa's father,
Native American, that guy.
So Bulma bursts into tears, but Master Roshi consoles her. We get a freaking awesome Krillin moment.
Yeah.
Easily like his best moment of the series so
wish
far.
I put colon after I put Krillin's new ultimate, but I thought we were gonna get a name. We didn't get a name. Do you have it?
I think it's called, according to this, it's called Scattering Bullet. Although I've never seen that name anywhere.
Well,
Or heard that.
It was really sick. Though.
Really cool move. It's like super iconic in this episode. He shoots it out.
It's like a roller coaster move.
You think he's trying to hit Vegeta and Nappa, but he actually sends it up and then showers the blast down onto each of the Saibamen except for one, killing them instantly.
And it was sick.
He hit Vegeta and Nappa. They ended up being unscathed.
And they got surprised too. They did not know what was happening.
No,
they
didn't.
thought that blast was coming for them.
Yeah, he easily outsmarted them there. Of course, it didn't end up doing much, but Nappa volunteers at this point to begin the battle. He's starting to get kind of annoyed, and he randomly picks Krillin and charges towards him. But Piccolo jumps right in front and fires a blast.
And then Krillin or Nappa, like, I guess has a move or something. He put up like a field or something and deflected.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that
I wasn't sure. I think. Oh, my nose.
Whoa, hey.
I wasn't sure if, like, I don't think Piccolo missed because that's not Piccolo.
Mm-hmm.
But there was, like, a weird yellow wall around Nappa, and he kind of, like, moved.
Mm-hmm.
And then the blast went and hit the mountain instead.
Yeah, I think he was just too fast for it.
Yeah.
And then, Nappa dodges that, and he kicked Piccolo, sending him into a rock. And he's pretty much fine, which means that, like, he's either really strong or Nappa didn't maybe kick him super hard.
I think he's strong. Yeah.
I mean, he's up there. I mean, last we saw, he's like on par essentially with Goku. We don't know what's going on with Goku after this King Kai training. He's obviously faster since he's like flying down Snake Way so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nappa begins powering up. 1 second. I forgot to mention that we get immediately after Krillin's cool moment, we get a cool moment with Piccolo where one of the Saibamen, the last surviving one, lashes out at Gohan.
Yeah.
But he grabs it by the arm, throws it in the air, and then freaking mouth blasts it into bones and then dust.
That part was sick.
Really well animated, really, really cool. Just badass. Piccolo's terrifying, dude.
Yeah. No, he's sick. Yeah, I know. He almost he started to show his not evil side, but I was this is
brutal.
This is the very scary Piccolo.
This is the fighting Goku trying to kill him Piccolo.
He's been All Might for the past few episodes, and now it's like, oh, here's the Piccolo I remember.
Right, out of necessity. Nappa's raging out at this point. He picks Tien, engages him, and then with one punch, he severs Tien's arm off.
Bro, Nappa's strong.
Bro,
how do you even do that?
He literally punched someone's arm off.
Clean cut, a steak,
A clean cut. Yeah, exactly.
That's mad skills.
It's awesome.
That's when we get that shot. I think it's right before when he charges that up when he's like extra thick Nappa.
Yeah, dude.
It's like the close up, dude. His thighs are like
he's huge,
beefy.
He is absolutely huge, and he's terrifying. Tien tries to fight back, but it's not much. And Krillin tries to help him. Nappa blasts this huge hole in the ground, trying to stop Krillin from helping Tien, and then they thought for a moment that Chiaotzu died here.
Mm-hmm.
However, Chiaotzu was somewhere floating behind Nappa, latching onto his back, powering up. Nappa smashes him on the rocks. He can't reach him
this part's sick, dude. When he's like, flying backwards and he's just
brutal,
wrecking
man.
him.
This is where I think like Dragon Ball Z is at its best a lot of the times. When it comes to the action, it's like it's not afraid to be like pretty intense sometimes, man.
No, the choreography is like so sick.
Oh yeah, I mean, that only ever gets better. So, Chiaotzu as a last resort, he tells Tien like goodbye. He essentially thinks
that's
that the best
sad too, because that's Tien's like best friend. And he's like, dude, no, get off, like stop.
Right.
And then he's like, no, I gotta do this.
Yeah, and it is. Yeah, it's his best friend. Like, they trained together before they even met Goku and all them. They were together. And unfortunately, Chaozu blows up and dies.
Yeah, he tries to kamikaze Nappa, and you think like it might have worked because they showed the purple explosion with like some bits flying out, and it's like, oh man, maybe Nappa's in pieces. And then Tien's watching from below, and then we cut back, and yeah, the smoke fades away.
Smoke
and
clears, and
stupid Nappa's there.
Nappa's fine. Yeah, he's
Unscathed.
literally unaffected. It's not even like a, whoa, that was close. I almost died there. No, he's completely unscathed. Yeah. Chaozu is dead. Tien's really sad and also missing an arm.
And they point out, and Tien I think points out that Chaozu's been revived.
Yeah, so he has been revived once before.
That's it.
So we know the very strict rule on the Dragon Balls is that you can't be revived more than once, or you can't. Shenron can't grant the wish more than once, I suppose it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chaozu did end up sacrificing himself. Tien's super upset. Yamcha and Chaozu, 2 out of 6 fighters are now dead.
Yeah.
One of them,
I predicted some people would die.
You did predict.
I think I said Tien and Chaozu and maybe Yamcha.
You did not say Yamcha. I specifically remember that.
I think it might have just been Tien and Chaozu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I said Yamcha's little dude, I think.
Yeah, he's not there.
He's not there.
No. We did get this one, like, really, I wrote down this one really bad shot in this episode of Nappa's pupils, like, getting dragged by, that it was just a dude, like, drag, like, as if he's, like, looking around.
It's very strange, because otherwise this episode is, like, probably the best animation of these 3.
Yeah,
so
easily.
Far.
I think it was well-paced, and I think it was well-animated. For the most part, the pacing, of course, not perfect yet, I don't think, but I do think that this one is, like, a sign of things to come.
Yeah.
I think it's getting a lot better, and we're starting to see some of that action that we've been promised this whole time. Goku, of course, still on his way. Vegeta.
Let me bring up this since we're on the topic of Goku. I said it last episode, like flying or jumping. You see now why I was like confused.
He was flying and jumping
because he flies and then like goes for a little bit and then jumps back and flies. So that's why I was like, I don't know what he's doing. Is that a Superman jump? Are we flying? But I think it's just a mix of both. And I think it just looks cooler for the shot to have him like bouncing around and stuff.
Right. It makes sense that honestly, that's probably what it is. And then, Vegeta makes the joke whenever Tien's arm gets chopped off. He says, he's been disarmed. And then that's it. It cuts away. It's like, okay. But, yeah, I mean, that's those 3 episodes. It's important. I mean, the remainder of the Saibamen are destroyed. Chaozu sacrifices himself. Yeah, like I said, 2 out of 6 dead.
Yeah.
1 is missing an arm.
Like, straight up gone.
Vegeta and Nappa literally not unscathed in every way possible.
Vegeta hasn't moved like a muscle.
Vegeta hasn't. He's just watching.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything. He's just in it for the entertainment.
And I'm excited because we saw Nappa like kicking ass. Like, this dude's strong, and Vegeta is clearly probably the stronger one, and he's just hanging back in the wings. And I'm like, oh man, what's coming?
I love that trope of like the he's just like he's not even in it because like why bother?
Exactly.
Kind of he's just in it for the entertainment. Like I said, I do think this is a sign of things to come in terms of pacing. I think the fighting's like getting a bit better. We're seeing more stuff happen. It's really kind of tragic already.
Yeah.
And we're only 3 episodes into this kind of thing since the Saiyans have landed, rather. So yeah. What do you think how did you like that episode overall? 24 compared to the Power of Nappa compared to.
I really liked that one because like I didn't want to like we weren't dealing with the Saibamen anymore except when Krillin like murks them with scattering bullet,
which is quick and it's cool.
Yeah, and then we get to see like Nappa just going all out, and we get to see like some fighting, which is what I've been wanting to see, just a martial arts fight, and like it's just so sick.
And I did forget to mention, I like the teaching moment with Piccolo, showing Gohan how to. They're going superhuman speeds when Yamcha's fighting the Saibamen, but he teaches them like you're not only focusing with your eyes, you have to listen, you have to something about light, which is stupid, but.
The light coming off. Yeah, that was.
You just have to focus more on like your senses rather than only sight alone.
Yeah.
And feeling their energy.
But no, I liked it. It was my favorite episode.
Okay, so your score. What were your scores?
So for 22? Episode 22, The Darkest Day, I gave it 2 out of 7 stars.
I gave it a 2 out of 7. Yeah. I did almost want to give it a 3 out of 7 because we were finally getting some action, but I was like, it's just not a very good episode.
Yeah, it was just in the way. I mean, that episode 22 being the episode that happens after the Saiyans land on Earth is very underwhelming.
Yeah.
It's like Thanos coming, and then we cut away to some Hawkeye BS or something.
God, no. Oh, God.
Yeah,
I gave it a 2.
What'd you give episode 23?
23 is a 3 out of 7.
I gave it 3 out of 7 as well.
Because it is certainly better than the previous episode.
It is better, but it still almost has the same problem as the first one, where it's like, all right, I'm ready to get to what's next.
Right, I'm just anxious. Exactly.
Yeah.
We get the Yajirobe crap. We get the reporters and the helicopters crap. We see the Ox King, and we have to hear him talk, which automatically makes it GG. So I gave it a 3.
Yeah. And then
And
episode
I'm assuming
24, The Power of Nappa, I gave a 5 out of 7 stars.
5.
Yeah, I really.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, I think, let me see. The last episode I gave a 5 out of 7 stars.
Yeah, what is the last one?
18, The End of Snake Way, got a 7 out of 7 because of Oolong.
That was probably just out of pure relief, too.
Yeah.
Oh, 7, yeah, because of Oolong. Oolong, we saw a lot of Oolong these past couple episodes.
I know, I loved it. And then the last 5 I gave a 6 to Piccolo's Plans. That's episode 4. So we've kind of been in the 2s and 3s and 4s for a hot minute.
And
so.
I gave a few 1s, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
In retrospect, I've got a few I could probably give a 1.
We've got some bad.
Yeah, we
episodes.
trudged through it. Season
Global
1's
training.
gonna have a bad overall score, I think.
I know you were probably getting to the point where you were like, I don't think I like Dragon Ball Z.
It's not that, but I was like, I know that it's gonna get good because like I trust your opinion on these kind of things and everything. So like I'm like, okay, I know we're gonna get to that point. But yeah, if I was just like a kid, or not even a kid, if I was just someone who had heard a lot about Dragon Ball Z and was like, oh, check this out, and I'm watching by myself, I'd probably be like, this isn't it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
First off, if you haven't seen Dragon Ball, you'd lose interest, but
Yeah.
that would make you dumb.
And I'm not the kind of person that's like, well, if you just get past the first 2 seasons and then like it gets good after that, and it's like, if that first season doesn't grab me, like why should I continue? I mean, I'm going to, 1 for our show, and 2 because I know it gets good. But
yeah, no,
it's a tough
That's
sell.
a completely fair opinion.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, a filler dump of 10 episodes, I think it is, in the very beginning of the show, and it's all awful.
It's just such a weird. It's got to be like a mismanagement back then with time or something.
I guarantee.
Because ideally, the team would be like, can we actually release this 3 months from now?
Yeah, like
And
let's start a few months later.
Yeah, and then whoever released it back in the 90s was like, no, it's got to come out on July 1st or whatever.
We need this block to be filled.
Yeah.
We need to start making money from merchandise.
Exactly.
But
we're out of that, and we're in the good stuff, and episode 24 has been my favorite in a while.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would say me too. I'm excited because we've got some objective 7 out of 7s coming.
Yeah.
I mean like ones that we're gonna agree on. Period.
I'm excited.
I'm just so excited. I love the whole show, but I particularly love this arc a lot.
I just love what's coming. Like I love, in the back of my head, I know that like the power levels get way more like higher, like 8,000 and 9,000 off the the memes or whatever.
Right.
And so like now that they're like fighting at 1,200 and stuff, and I know they're just gonna keep getting stronger. Like, I know when Goku comes back, that boy's breaking 2,000.
Dude.
2K, bro. Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. I cannot wait
I'm
to
excited.
see what happens next. Yeah. I love the show.
But we have to wait till next week. Whack.
Yeah. Yep. Well, yeah, I guess that's it. Will Goku ever show up? Will Krillin get another cool moment? Will Piccolo murk everybody? That would be cool. Or Gohan, for that matter.
That'd be even better.
Find out on episode 9 of Dragon Ball Speed.
Start her up, cowboy.
All right.
Get this thing popping.